Hello friends, how are you all? I hope you are fine. Today in this video, we are going to continue making our bat and ball game. So this is the code we wrote in our previous video, the part 1. And in case you haven't watched the part 1, please do it and I will put the link in the description below. So be sure to check it out. And that said, let's continue the video. So if I run this code by now, let me run the code and click on run button. You can see we are getting an empty window and the title is bat and ball, so that's nice, but we have to write the logic now for moving the bat and adding the bat actually. So we will have a bat which we can move, and the logic for making the ball will be written in the next video, the part 3. So now I will close this window, and now I am going to show you my main game. If I run my main game, you can see this is my game, and the bat is placed just above this window and my ball is moving, and so I have to prevent the ball from falling. Okay, I lost. My score was 2. So now you have already seen that my bat is placed just above this edge of the window. My bat is placed just above this edge of the window. So we have to do this exactly. And now I will start. But before, if I show you my code, my window, it is a bit smaller. I think it's a bit smaller. So let me check the size of my window which I wrote. Okay, so my screen size is 700 and 500. So we have to do the same. So now I will set the screen size to 700 and 500. So now it will be perfect. You can see this is the perfect. And now I'm going to copy this, actually cut this from here. Now I'm going to create a new variable screen size, just like I did in the main game window. I mean main game file. Screen size will be this. And now I will say screen size. So this is a list, and the first is the width and second is the height. This will help a lot in my game. So whenever I want to change my size, I will just have to change the elements of this list. So let's continue. Now I will make a bat. For that, after this line screen.fill, I'm going to say pygame.draw. So pygame.draw.rect is a function which takes, firstly it takes the window in which we are going to put the bat or rectangle. So the window is this screen variable. You can see this screen variable. So I will give the first argument as this. Second argument will be what color I think. Second argument will be the color of the bat, and that will be, let me think. I think it was blue. So I will say RGB. I will do this. I will say the G parameter as 255. And next will be where my bat will be placed. So for that I am going to go to my coordinate window. You can see this. So I have told you this in my previous video. This is the x-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis, right? And now if I want to place my bat somewhere like here, let's say, then in I have to pass two things. The first one will be the coordinates of this particular point, this top left edge. I have to pass the coordinates of this point, and then I have to pass the width and the height. So these are the two things I have to pass. So firstly, let's try passing some test values. So as I said, the first value will be the coordinates of my top left vertex. So I will say, let's say 10 10, and the second will be my width and height. So in this curly bracket, the first item will be my width. So let's say the width is 50 pixels and the height is 100 pixels. Let's check it out the results. Okay, there is an error. Let me see. Okay, so the error was that I have to pass all this in one curly brackets. So the first one will be 10, 10. So this is the coordinates of the top left vertices, and the second will be width. I mean third will be width and fourth will be height. So let's say 50. Let's check the results. So my width is 100 and height is 50. Okay. So this is my rectangle. That's nice. Of course, we will see a way to put it like over here. But now we are getting to see a rectangle, and that's nice. Now if I do this 200, this means my height will become much larger. You can see. So okay. Now I will say 50, and let's move on to my other window. So now you know that I have a list called screen size in which I am storing the width and the height, right? So the width will be this and the height will be this in my window. So this means if I want to place my bat just above this edge, then I have to pass the screen size height minus some value. So let me show you how. Let's say this is the, you know that this is the 0 and this is my 500, right? So 500. As we move up, we have to subtract this y-axis value. So this means if I want to place my bat 50 pixels from this edge, then I have to pass in my screen size height and then minus 50. So let's see how. I'm going back to my PyCharm. You can see I'm back inside my PyCharm. So now you know that I have to pass in this y-axis value, screen size minus 50. So let's try. Of course, we are going to get error because this is a list. And to access the second value of this list, I have to pass screen size 1 minus 50. Now you see the magic. It is placed just here. So this coordinate, this you can see this coordinate is being placed 50 pixels above this edge. Now I will of course reduce my height. So I will say 15 instead of 50. 1 5 15. So now if I check the results, okay, that's nice. And I'm also going to reduce my width. So it will be 75. Okay, now it's looking just perfect. And I think it should not be 50. It should be 30. It should be a bit lower. Okay, this is good. And I can leave this 10 as it is. But if you want to change this 10, you can do 100 and it will be placed 100 pixels from this edge. But if you want to place it in the middle of the screen, then you have to say screen size and you have to access the first parameter, I mean first value. This is the 700 and the index of it will be 0. So I have to say screen size 0 divided by 2. So it will be placed now in the middle of my window. Okay, perfect. Let's go back to my window. Now you know that our bat is placed like just here. So now we have to find a way to move my bat here or here. So this means we have to find a way to place my bat, I mean move my bat in the x-axis, because when I'm moving my bat to the right or to the left, my x value is changing, but my y value is remaining the same, right? So let's say that if this is the window, and if my bat is, let me erase this. If this is the window and my bat is over here, if it is touching this edge, then I don't have to move it towards this. And similarly, if my bat is over here, then I can't move it further to the left. right? So that's why I will check this condition as well. So let's get back to my PyCharm, and over here I can start writing the code for moving the bat. Okay, so it will be something like this. So Pygame has something called key.getPressed. So I will declare a variable called keys, and I will say pygame.keys dot get pressed. I think it's key, not keys. Okay, so pygame.key.get pressed. And what is the function of this? It will check for the keys that user has pressed. So now in the next line I can write if keys pygame.left k left. So this means if user has pressed the left key, then what I can do is that for example, let's say print left key pressed. But if keys pygame.k right, so this will mean that if the user pressed right key, then I can say, print right key pressed. Let's check out the results. And now I will try to press left key. Okay, so you can see here we are getting to see left key pressed. And now if I press right key, let's go down. You can see right key pressed. That's nice. So this means our code is working. And now I have to get a way to change my x coordinates of the bat. So that's why I will store these values as variables. Bat x equals to screen size 0 by 2. And since this is my bat y, I will say bat y equals to screen size 1 minus 30. Perfect. Here I will write bat x and bat y. So what is the advantage of this? Now I have these variables, and in each iteration I can check if the user is pressing left key or right key, and if that is the case, I can change the x. I can change this bat x variable too. And so let's try this. If pygame.key left, then I will say bat x equals to bat x minus 30, or I can say 10. And now if I run, I will press left key. Oh no, it is going too fast. For that I have to make a clock. And don't worry, making clock is very easy. Clock equals to pygame dot clock, time dot clock, and has a function called clock dot tick, tick, and if I call it at the end of updating, it will take, which is telling the number of times this loop will run in 1 second. So I will say 30. And now let's try the results. Okay, so my bat is moving to the left, but when I press right, it is not moving, and actually I am seeing this message. So to tackle that, I will delete this line, and I will say bat x equals to bat x minus 10. I mean plus 10, because I am moving the bat to the right, so I have to add some value x coordinate, I mean. So let's try the result. Okay, the bat is moving with a good speed. Of course, If I want to change the speed, I want to decrease the speed, I can say 8 and 8. Actually, you know what? I can just declare a bat speed variable. Bat speed equals to 8, and I can replace these numbers by bat speed. So, so this will mean that I can just simply change the initial value of my bat speed, and I don't have to change both these values. Okay, now it's a bit slow, and I think it's smooth. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comment section below. But I can beyond my screen size. So if this is my rightmost edge, I can move it beyond this. So to stop that, I'm also going to write some more conditionals. So if this is the case, if user project, I'm going to again, you can see my coordinate window. And now let's say my bat is over here. Let's say it is over here. So you know that this is my corner of the bat. My bat x variable is storing. So now if my bat x is less than or equal to 0, so this means my bat x coordinate is either less than or greater than, I mean, or equal to 0, then I can say that don't move, don't move the bat. This means the bat will. What if its coordinate is greater than 0? I mean less than 0. What if bat x coordinate is less than 0? Then the bat will be like this. It's this edge will be touching. I'm going to go to my PyCharm, and I will say that if bat x is greater than 0, then only you can move the bat. Let's see if this actually works or not. Okay, so I am not able to go past this point. I'm not able to go beyond this point, and that's perfect. Now we have to look away to so that the bat can also not move beyond this edge. You can see now it can. Now let's suppose that this is my edge. This is my edge, and now if my bat x is like this, so now you know that this particular distance is my bat width, and this point, this is topmost and leftmost point, and my bat x will be storing the x coordinate of this point. So now if bat x plus bat width, so bat x plus bat width is width. So this means that if if the coordinate of this topmost and rightmost point is, if the x coordinate of this topmost and rightmost point is beyond this, I mean beyond this edge, then you can't move. Less than the screen size. I mean, I know it's a bit, I know it's a bit confusing, but you will get used to this if you practice more and more. So now I'm going to write here and bat x plus bat width, I mean bat size. Oh, sorry, I mean bat width. So bat width, but there is no variable. and write here bat width. And now I'm going to declare the same variable over here, vidth. Perfect. And I'm going to copy my value. Now, if my bat x plus bat width is actually greater than, less than screen size width, this value, if it is less than this value, then only I can. Let's try. I'm trying to now go beyond this edge, but I'm not able to do it because I've written the perfect logic for it. So great. After the end of this video, we are able to move the bat, and that's what I wanted to achieve. I think that the bat should be a bit above this edge, and for that I'm going to go here and write 40 instead of 30, so it will move up a bit. Perfect for making the ball and moving the ball.